Beres Hammond can put, let's say, 600, in between 600 to 1,000 people in a venue. Buju is asking for crazy money, and since he went out of prison, he just wants to do big stadiums or big arenas in the US. But he just came for one show. The first show was in Summer Jam in Germany, and he got paid.
What do you think you could be doing better in terms of a promoter? Is there any ways that you feel like you could improve it to get more ticket sales, more turnout, or
I mean, it's not my duty because I have enough promoting a show and risking and trying to announce the show. But there's other parts of the work that is not my duty, but someone has to uh, mm, promote or make these artists play on the radios and make these artists be known. So I cannot do everything. I'm just the promoter. Then has to be an agent, has to be a manager, has to be a guy who works on the publicity and the media. And that's the thing, that nothing, back in the days I have a very close friend of mine who used to work with Sisla. It's Breadback, right? And after these articles on the Observer, he says something which is true, that is that the teams have disappeared. Back in the days, an artist have a team.
okay? So the more independent reggae artists, they're causing the entire industry to suffer.
I mean, let's say that the artists became, back in the days, they bring their own musicians, they bring their manager, they bring the guy in charge of the public relations and the media. But the artists, most of them became greedy, and they say, okay, I can go alone to Europe and look for a band in Europe, and I can get three times the money I got, and abandon my team, do it by myself with just a manager, and try to do the same. But they cannot do the same because it's not, there's big musicians, good musicians in Europe, but I can say that a Jamaican reggae musician is much better than a European reggae musician, of course.
Is this a consequence of them not being paid enough though? Because I think we spoke to other artists as well, and one of the key factors is maintaining a band in Jamaica and maintaining them on tour is different. And compared to, let's say, going to tour in America or Australia or those places, Europe pays the least. So then they have to put into consideration, if you're taking a team of 10 and you're getting paid less than you would in America, and you still have to compensate them for their time, how does that turn around for them?
Yeah, but the thing is that if you may grow your business in Jamaica
Hmm.
and you're getting big success and you're expanding your business, you can maintain this team. But if you stop recording, you stop doing hits, if you stop doing the same and you try to live by the old days, the business is not going to grow.
Yeah.
It's going to, stand. And obviously you cannot pay your team, and you want to get the same money. And most of the artists increase madly this money they're asking for.
Okay. What's the average cost to book a solid reggae? Don't tell me anyone's personal price, just the average cost that it would take to bring a good reggae artist here. Well,
I mean, if you promote a show in a weekday, let's say, we used to do for many years. We used to do reggae shows in Barcelona on Wednesdays.
okay.
There was a tradition to do Wednesdays.
On a Wednesday.
Yes,
What a
it was
day
a
to do a show.
yeah,
Coffee
but it
Monday
was
and Saturday.
there was a like a music cycle in Apollo, or the venue we used in Barcelona,
Yeah.
and people got this tradition for years that reggae was on Wednesdays.
Reggae night. That
Reggae
sounds like a
Yeah,
good
Wednesdays.
price.
and people came, people came to the shows. So let's say that for a Wednesday show, we can pay in between, depending on the artist or the pack, because normally it's two artists. You can pay in between, let's say, in between 5 to 10,000, just fee. Then you have to ask to add the venue cost, the hotels, the internal transports, the per diems, the parking,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
the whole production cost. So at the end of the day, you go into you're risking in between 10 to 17,000 euros.
Okay.
For an average artist.
Yes, for let's say Jamaican artists. We don't. I'm not saying Siggy Marley, or I'm not saying
Yeah.
you know.
Just,
Average
just,
artist.
yeah. So one thing you just mentioned something for me, which I find kind of different as a Jamaican. Like there are certain reggae artists that I listen to that
Mhm.
I don't really care if they make a new song. I don't care. I want to. If I go to see them, I don't want to hear their new music. If I go see Beres, Hammond, Buju Band, I don't really like
Yeah,
the new
yeah.
music is good. But you're saying that
Me
them,
too.
them banking off the old songs doesn't create new fans, so they need
Yeah,
to. But they are making music though.
yeah. But that, I mean, you went too straight to the big names, right?
Okay, all right.
I mean, but the thing you name Buju Banton, or let's say Buju Banton and Beres Hammond, you name
Yeah.
it. Okay, 100,000 euros, 150,000 euros. It's
Okay.
crazy money. So the thing is that Buju Banton, he doesn't want to tour anymore in Europe.
Because the
He
money
doesn't
isn't
want
there.
he doesn't want to tour because he pretends to get paid, 20,000 per night, and it's impossible in Europe. And Beres Hammond, same. He wants to come to Europe. He wants to come with 19 people touring, and he's asking for crazy fees. Beres Hammond can put, let's say, 600, in between 600 to 1,000 people in a venue. So how much you have to charge per ticket to get what he wants to, what he expect to be paid?
So
So
Barry's
But
can for five
I think
thousand people.
not more in Europe.
I
Just in England, he has a
yeah.
huge
I
fan
was
base
about
in
to get there.
England, but not in Europe. And
Mm-hmm.
they don't want to adapt at the Europe reality. So they prefer not to tour.
So I have a question. You just said I think you just separated England from Europe just now.
Yes.
What's the difference in terms of the reggae scene?
I mean, England has been the motherland of Jamaica. England has right now there must be the sixth or seventh generation of Jamaicans, thousands of Jamaicans, and
Yeah,
that's not happening in Europe.
true.
Okay, so you basically put England as the top holders.
I mean, they were back in the days, but not now,
Mm-hmm.
because young people, young Jamaican heritage people, they consider reggae music the grandpa's music.
Yeah, everybody
Yeah.
listen to reggae, but they don't love reggae like one
No,
time.
I mean, I went when Burning Spear came back on 2022.
Yeah.
I went to Birmingham and the next day to London to attend the shows. And the mid average of the people attending the show was in between 45 to 60 years old. No youth was,
Uh,
and there was 3,000 people in Birmingham and nearly 4,000 in London.
Ah.
And there was no youth in the audience.
how can
Uh,
we change that?
How can you change that? But starting in Jamaica, I've always said
the
that
ripple effect.
reggae music or Jamaican culture has to be an obligatory subject in schools.
I
Ah,
agree.
I
okay.
mean, it's a shame that I go to Jamaica. Let me tell you something. I was in Jamaica just reading Sugar Minor biography,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I was on the beach, and a young waiter came here just to ask if I wanted some. See, I want to drink some. And this guy was between 15, 16 years old, and he asked me, "Oh, this guy was famous at your country?"
Hey.
And I say, no, it was famous at your country. So, the young people, they don't know who's Gregory Isaacs. They don't know who's Sugar Minor. They don't know who's Frank Paul. That's a big problem.
It's not personal. Is it more that dancehall has eclipsed reggae to the point of it almost making reggae go extinct slowly?